be Associate Professor Dr. Shaharuddin Badarudin. Before we call him up on stage, a little bit on his background. Professor Dr. Shaharuddin Badarudin is a lecturer of political science at the Faculty of Administrative Science and Policy Studies, University Technology Mara. He has written many articles and edited several books in the subject of Islam and politics, youth and development, and also politics in the Sarawak elections. He has presented papers in many international conferences, and at the international level, he is the member of Union of NGOs Islamic World. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Associate Professor Dr. Shaharuddin Badarudin.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good afternoon. Mr. Chairman, firstly I would like to say thanks to Tindak Malaysia and also Bar Council who managed to invite me for the conference. I prepared a lot of things on democracy and also the delimitation, but after 2 days of conference, I think all the points and all the discussions already taken over, and it is best for me to just talk not more than 10 minutes, at least to talk about the how about of this movement of the delimitation and how it can influence the government. I have 4 things to say this afternoon. The first one is going into definitely the real politics of the delimitation, because I'm a political scientist. I can avoid from talking about this the real politics. Secondly, I will try to talk about the education process, especially when you are talking about the principles of each word should carry the same value. I think this is actually a good movement to educate the citizens on the subject. And thirdly, I will try to discuss on the anticipation of the delimitation, because we know that after almost 11 years after the last delimitation, definitely this is time for Suruhanjaya Pilihan Raya to make new boundaries, and definitely there will be some pressure and also some kind of strategy, and the people, especially the citizen, need to go about this anticipating what is in the mind of the Suruhanjaya Pilihan Raya before you can suggest a lot of amendments in the federal constitution, or before you can suggest a lot of boundaries to take place. And definitely fourth thing, I will try to elaborate on the engagement between the NGOs, how we can really make the subject of this delimitation and also the redelineation of boundaries to be the main important thing, to be discussed not only by the NGOs, not only by the political parties, but also by the citizen at large. We go to the first one, the practices or the real politics of this delimitation. You can say a lot of things. The boundaries actually come from SPR, and then the SPR goes to the Prime Minister, and then the Prime Minister will go to the Parliament, and the Parliament will try to make some amendment out of it. But in reality, it can go a lot of way. For instance, like the most important thing for any redelineation every 10 years will be based on how the governing party can continue the administration or can continue to control Malaysia. Yesterday, for instance, Bridget talked about the 1970s. We are talking about making sure that there will be an access to the rural voters. And then in 2003, you have a mixed area, and you can see that in the delineation of 2003, for instance, it's basically based on the 1999 general election. You know that during the 1999 general election, UMNO, especially the Barisan Nasional, lost to the opposition, the Malay belt. Okay? So in 2003, especially the delimitation of 2003, they just want to make sure that that if, for instance, the Malay voters goes far from the government, so you can manage and you can control the situation. That's why in the redenomination of 2003, you can see that there is no increase in the Malay belt, and especially you can see that in Terengganu, in Kelantan, and also in Kedah, there is no addition of a parliamentary seats in these three areas, basically in the Malay belt. And there is a creation of mixed areas, especially in Selangor and even in South Kedah. Also, although there is no addition of parliament, but definitely there will be reboundaries for that matter. And because of that, for instance, in 2004, the election in 2004, Barisan Nasional managed to grab landslide majority. It means more than 90% of the seats actually covered by Barisan Nasional, because the support of the Malay shifted to Barisan Nasional. And secondly, you can see that the Chinese and also Indian maintain the support to the Barisan Nasional. But this kind of assessment or this kind of reboundaries actually doesn't happen in 2008, because when there's a shift of voters in 2008, especially from the Chinese voters, it goes, it's like a domino, right? It falls down and it continues to 2013. That's why for the next denomination, definitely we have to go through definitely the formula of creating the new denomination will be try to reconstruct the mixed constituencies, and also try to create some kind of more ethnic constituencies. I think I will go to that matter after this. Secondly, it is some kind of everybody, I don't know whether people knows or not, but among the politicians there's some kind of a knowledge saying that most of the delimitation process appears when there is a competition in UMNO bahagian, when you have the competition between the Ketua Bahagian and you have the competition between the Ketua Bahagian and Timbal Ketua Bahagian and all that, definitely you have to think outside the box. How to do that? Is by cutting the boundaries into two ways. You take this side and I will take this side. And then the proposal goes to SPR, and definitely SPR will go towards going to the Prime Minister and all that. So you can see that, especially after 1999 in the state of Pahang, for instance, and also points like the place of how you can see the division between Temeloh and also Ber, because there is a competition of Ketua Bahagian down there. This is off record, please don't put it there. And then for instance in Wilayah Persekutuan, you can see the formulation of new boundaries of Setiap Wangsa. Why? Because there is a competition in Wangsa Maju. So basically, you can see that it is because of the UMNO fighting that create this kind of boundaries, the new boundaries. They don't talk about whether it is an increase of population or whether you need it or not. What most important is you can really reduce the competition among themselves. So they will give more to the party members, and they can actually reduce conflicts. So this is the first part that I want to talk about. When you talk about the delimitation, definitely you cannot avoid from the real politics. That is the real politics of Malaysian politics when we talk about the redelineation of parliamentary boundaries. Secondly, when we talk about the education process of this politics, definitely in this 2-day seminar, we talk about the principles of each vote should carry the same value. I think I agree with that. Especially the suggestion came from Professor Bridget Wells. I think we can push toward that by going to the masses, by going to the ground. on teaching the grounds about the number of seats in the parliament should be related to the formula such as the population increase, and then the allocation of the parliamentary seats among the states should be according to the size of the population. Clear guidelines should be determined and made known for the delimitation, because you don't show anything. Before this, for instance, who knows about this delimitation and what is the process around it? What we know is that every 10 years there will be a redelineation. So I think the job of Tindak and also the job of Bar Council to really educate the masses is quite good, and I think it should involve all the NGOs to make sure that these clear guidelines will be there, at least to be known to the citizen, saying that if you have every 10 years you have the redelineation, you have to do that. Okay. Thirdly, the anticipation of the boundaries. What would happen in this year or next year if there is a redelineation? I think there will be a redelineation. There is some talk saying that there is a negotiation between Pakatan Rakyat and Barisan Nasional, because we need two-thirds majority, right, to do that, at least to have that increase. Okay, before there is a negotiation, it is best for the NGOs to intercept before it goes around. Okay. So this is the real politics. Anticipation of the boundaries. What is it? Right now, the strategy of Barisan Nasional maybe it's not to go to the majority, because they know that with this kind of boundaries, definitely it is almost impossible for you to get to the majority. I think the increase of the education among politics of the people definitely is almost impossible. But the most important thing is just continue the regimes. Okay? How to continue it? Okay? Definitely to make sure that you can win in the G40. Okay, the way of how to do it definitely will be, we have to think on how they think. Okay? Then we can really work out. Okay? There will be an increase of parliamentary seats in the Malay belt. Okay? Definitely, because there is no increase in the last redelineation in 2003, especially in Kelantan, Terengganu, and also in Kedah. Definitely there will be some readjustment down there, because you can see that, for instance, place such as Kelantan or Tumpat, for instance, you have around 90,000 voters. Okay? In Tumpat, you have really 90,000 voters. And in Kedah, for example, Pulau Kedah, you have really nearly 100,000 voters. Okay? And it's much more Kuala Kedah and Tumpat rather than most of the parliament seats in Kuala Lumpur. Okay? So this is the reality. Definitely there will be some increase on that, especially in Terengganu also. There is some place in Terengganu, for instance, you have more than I think 70,000 or 80,000 voters. So you need to adjust on that. Okay? So this is the thinking of the redelineation. Secondly, there will be some change of boundaries, and definitely the change will be from mix. Right now, actually, the mixed constituencies give an advantage to the Pakatan Rakyat, and there will be some change into it, and it will be far more ethnic consideration. That means if you have a Chinese parliamentary, definitely you can have around 90 or 95% of the constituency will be dominated by the Chinese. Okay, there will be some kind of you just let go the parliamentary, because it's no way for you to win in that places. Okay, so there will be some change on that. Okay, so the mixed seats that have a small margin of victory will be defined. For instance, like either it will be won by the Pakatan Rakyat or it will be won by Barisan Nasional. This will be the main priorities, and actually if there is a discussion and negotiation between Pakatan Rakyat and Barisan Nasional, this area is the most important thing. And I think this area should be concentrated among the Tindak Malaysia or even the Bar Council to look upon. For instance, like the place to watch out, if you can really watch out to the place, I think the best thing right now is to concentrate on certain areas. You don't talk about 222 parliamentary seats to look upon. It's better for you to look at certain areas, especially 30 to 40 parliament seats that you can really get involved with. Okay? In Kedah, for instance, you have Kuala Kedah, you have Alustar, you have pokok senang is won by PAS, but mostly it's basically because you have an area of Alusta inside it. Okay? And then Sungai Petani, Serdang, this is a place to watch out. Okay? So if there is a reboundaries, definitely this is the best place to do it. Okay? And then in Perak, for instance, you have the Parit Bunta, you have Bagan Serai, you have Lumut, okay? And then you have Tanjung Malin, Kapah. This is a place of the best place to watch out. And then in Selangor, definitely most of the parliament in Selangor, okay? Especially in Hulu Langat, in Kuala Selangor, in Kapah, because Kapah has the most, I think, voters down there for 120,000. It's almost illogical to have one parliament of that numbers, okay? And then we have Kota Raja, and definitely there will be rebounding between Kapah, Kota Raja, and also Shalam, because definitely there will be some negotiation around it, and you have to watch out to that particular four areas to look upon. In Pahang, for example, you have Indra Kota, you have Kuantan, and you have nearby the Raups and also the Bentong. So this is the best place to do it. So we go to the fourth things, how to make this job of Tindak more effective. Tindak also more effective. The first one is definitely the engagement between the NGOs. Yesterday and maybe today you are talking about getting hundreds of parliament. I think you can do it by engaging yourself with the NGOs, especially the Malay NGOs like I'm representing right now, the Akademi, Pendidikan, Demokrasi, and Kewarganegaraan. Okay? Because there's a lot of things to discuss, especially the grassroots. Okay? We need to educate the grassroots. And then secondly, besides focusing on the target area, you have to go into the NGO stuff. Okay? Although you have to engage yourself with political parties, definitely you have to retain these NGOs. Because political rights is not the right of the politician. Okay? The NGOs, especially the citizens, need to move ahead. Okay? The people has to take the ownership. Okay? Can you get it? So the people has to take the ownership of politics. The politics is not in the hand of political parties. It's not in the hand of politicians. But the citizens should get involved in politics. And I think we have to give an applause to Tindak and also Bersih, because with this kind of works, for instance, you are educating the citizen. You are educating the citizen, and this is a way on how, for instance, you can really enlighten the people. You have to go into how to develop ideological and how to create some kind of a value-based politics. If not, you are only talking about politics and elections and all that, without concern on the real basic right of the roles of the citizen. Okay, so I think that's it. I think the most important thing is to go to the grassroots and to make sure that you engage everybody in the grassroots, especially when you are talking about getting that 100. It's not easy. Okay? To gather these 2 days of I think all the movers or the catalysts of this program, I think you have to give applause to yourself because this is a hard work to go into a seminar of 2 days and a very serious seminar, especially for the future of our nation. Sekian, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.